I'm Krystal Blackard.
And I'm Lindsay Reynolds.
We're seekers of truth, willing to ask the hard questions and cut through the industry smoke.
On Simplified Success The Podcast, we strip sales and marketing down to what actually works, front end to back end, so you can scale without the burnout.
Because real growth isn't just about numbers. It's about optimizing how your business runs so you can grow yourself, grow your paycheck, grow your team, and grow your leadership.
And most importantly, making it all happen without the fluff or the chaos.
This is Simplified Success.
Well, hello. It has been a minute, but we are coming at you crazy. And I say we because I've got some big news. So welcome back to Simplified Success, the podcast. This has been something that has sort of been sitting behind the scenes for a really long time. I think the last time I dropped a podcast here was, like right after I had Hadley probably. So it's been a few years and a lot, like around 4 or so. A lot's happened in that time. And so we're bringing it back. And so I'm really excited to kind of reconnect with everybody to talk about what's going on. But it's coming back a little different than how it was before. And so, because just like we always talked about, growth's important, becoming the best version of yourself's important, and then kind of taking it as it comes. And so bringing this podcast back is something that I always wanted to do. And quite honestly, over the last few years has been hard to fit in with all the other things. And so quick little, background of where we're at now. So Hadley's turned 4. And in that time, while I've been sort of dark on the internet, we built a custom home building company, and that's been going incredibly well. We actually just won top emerging business in our community, and we've won tons of awards, and we've gotten to build some really beautiful homes. And that's a family business with my parents and my husband. But earlier this year, right around my birthday, actually, a friend of mine that I have worked with for the better part of a decade in numerous different situations and numerous different things, and I opted to kind of rekindle some of our working stuff and things, and have relaunched some stuff, which is really what ignited bringing this back to life. And so today's episode is going to be a little different than what you guys have heard in the past, because we kind of got to reconnect. But more than anything, also, I want to introduce you guys to my sidekick in this new venture that we're doing, what we do and what we're doing and how we're doing it, because it's a really unique partnership in the way that it's structured. So without further ado, and if you're watching the front of this icon, you can already see who this is. So it's not quite as crazy as we're making it sound at this point, because you already see my newest business partner, and in a number of different ventures, but we'll talk more about that here in a second, is Krystal Blackard. And so Krystal's on the podcast with me today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. But we have created such a yin and yang. You guys know me as the person who does all the back end, will challenge you on your mindset, try to help you grow, all the things, but really is big on the systems and how things flow, and really trying to help you make things work better in how they function, and allow you to be able to do all the things in a way that feels good, but really more on the systems and really more on the automation and really more on that side of things. Krystal brings a incredible amount of experience, and is just quite honestly, I don't know how to say it, then she's just like gifted with this ability to communicate really clearly and really convert things into sales. She's great at relationship building, but she's really impeccable at stopping the scroll, a lot of front side stuff. So those of you remember the front side, back side piece, Krystal's really the queen of the front side. So she's incredible at helping you to organize and simplify what you're saying in a way that makes people understand. And then she's just a conversion queen. So Krystal has cultivated something like $60 million worth of sales, something like that. Is that right? Is that the right amount of money? Yeah. Mm-hmm. On the internet, she's incredible at it. And so we've partnered together as a team to offer some stuff and help people, and just, I don't know, something we've always talked about doing for years. So I've done a lot of talking at this point, which I guess is the point of a podcast. But I will let Krystal jump in, introduce herself, and then we'll kind of introduce you guys to what this is going to be now, because this is a little bit, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a huge shift. I would say it's just a growth and exponentially more than what was here before, which is going to be really cool. So, Krystal, you want to kind of jump in and tell them kind of who you are and what's going on and all the things?
Yeah, all the things. I'm excited to be here. Thanks, Lindsay. So, like Lindsay said, first of all, I think it's really important to know that Lindsay and I are just dear friends. Like, we are friends who have a dream, which I know sounds kind of cliche, but when, but we've been doing this for the better part of a decade. But doing this, what does that mean? We've had some exponential growth in some amazing areas, cultivating growth, bringing on new back-end systems, rolling up whole entire teams. Like we've done some pretty amazing projects, and we're gonna break those down for you guys as we kind of continue on this path. Like we're gonna talk about that and show you what we're doing and kind of give you like a behind the scenes, kind of like pulling the curtain back and showing you. So anyways, I'm Krystal Blackard. So if you knew me previously, you might have known me by my old name, Krystal Nichols. I have actually recently gotten married too, which is really exciting. So if I look familiar and you're like, I don't know who Krystal Blackard is, that's why. Formerly Krystal Nichols. That was my front-facing name for the last decade. I've since been divorced and remarried and actually replanted, still in Texas, right, Lindsay? Yeah. So we're still there. But I have a real love for teaching people and training people and helping people really walk in their God-given gift. And part of that is helping them figure out what they're supposed to do and how that correlates into how they can bring in income and really live in that gift that God's given them. And so in the first part of my career, I did that through an MLM facilitator. Grew a huge business there, had lots of team members, and that's where Lindsay and I started creating our systems in over there. But we've since branched out, like she said, and came into the space where we just do it for ourselves now. And we rolled up a business called KL Consulting. So everything we do lives under that umbrella of KL Consulting. And really, if I can just be super transparent, which I think is the whole reason we're doing a podcast, right? Just
That
for
is
transparency.
100% the podcast vibe. And if you're watching this on the YouTube version, you will see just how transparent we are, because
We're very transparent.
We look raw and normal, and we want this to like literally. I'm not trying to interrupt you. Hold your thought for just a second. Like we want this literally to be like we're just having conversations with y'all. Like this is what it is.
And
like,
coffee, like literally, I'm having my coffee. Yeah.
Like we're just this is what this podcast is really going to be. Like we've had multiple ones of our clients and our friends. Like, I'd love to hear what you guys are talking about or what you're thinking or what's going on. But we really want this to be like we're having a conversation, but we're having it with you. And so like that's kind of the vibe of where we're at. But please continue. Sorry, I was thinking that. I was like, we are pretty raw, I'd say.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. And so I think the really cool thing about this is like, I mean, I can sit here and give you all my business accolades, and Lindsay and I can connect our portfolios here, and the numbers are impressive. Like we've done some amazing things in business, like I don't know, things that people mostly dream of, like just to be super honest. But the really cool thing about this is this was literally a God vision that had come to Lindsay and I. So last November, just to take you guys back to the kind of how it started, last November, we knew we were going to work together. We knew we were doing something, and we were kind of playing with some things, and we just didn't have time for it. Well, we started doing a Bible study together. And I kid you not, I was literally sitting there one day and reading through the Bible study that we were doing. It was in the book of Acts. And it was talking about Paul and Silas and their partnership. And God literally like put it on my heart so big that I had to stop and call Lindsay right there. And I said, Lindsay, we are supposed to start this company. Like, I feel like if we don't do it, we are walking in absolute disobedience. And here we are. And we knew
that was like November, but like we didn't really. I don't want to say do it.
Well, that was March. That was March right before your birthday.
That was March. Okay, so because that's when it really hit. Because it was like my birthday. We had a land hurricane in Amarillo.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
And dabbled with the idea in November, December, January, and then we kind of sat there. We did our Bible study and we did all the fun things. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. And then it was like, you need to do this. And we knew that at that point, if we didn't start this, we were walking in complete disobedience. And when you listen to us, everything comes from the biblical filter. Everything we teach is going to come. So if you're not about the biblical filter, we're probably not your girls. But yeah,
that's still the filter you can get from us. But that's just the filter we run stuff through for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we knew at that point. So then we had the land hurricane, and I almost died on the way to your house.
You don't even know what that is. Like you should Google it. So like this is crazy. I didn't even know that it was a thing.
Right.
So it was like on my birthday. So like Google March 14th Amarillo land hurricane. It legit was like 85 mile an hour. It's like a hurricane. but it was land. So it was all this dirt everywhere. And there was like a 69 car pileup that Krystal was almost in. Like, it was crazy. And so like the next day, everyone didn't have electricity. We did. We had gotten ours back, but a lot of people didn't have theirs yet. And Krystal came, and then we like, it was like crazy, like inspiration. Like, it was like God style inspiration, because we just like literally sat down. And then I'm pretty sure we worked for like 14 hours, and like we didn't even realize it was work.
Right.
Like, we didn't even like, what time is it? Like, how does that even happen?
We
And,
worked
like,
till like 2 a.m. We ate a couple candy bars. We drank some coffee.
like,
We
it was
just like
so
were in
awesome.
the zone.
And like, and then it was like, okay, like this is what it's going to be, and this is how it's going to go. And then like, talk about like walking in obedience, right? Like, we both, like, neither one of us needed to be doing this right now. If I'm being totally honest, like and you guys don't know all of this right now, but like, I have a full-time job that I work for an organization, right? I have
no time to do this, is basically what
right?
Lindsay's
I have
saying,
a 4-year-old. I still, have a husband, still married. And then we were like, yeah, let's just like go ahead and do another business. That makes sense. No, like where on earth? But it just has like.
Well, I was moving 7 hours across the country. I was getting married.
Yeah.
We did my wedding, and we like, so I was in Lindsay's wedding. I only had like 2 people at my wedding. She was one of the 2 people. Her and, well, obviously my husband and the pastor and the photographer.
We invited him to come. He could come to the wedding.
We needed him there to make it a wedding. Otherwise, it would have just been an awkward moment.
Yeah.
Sitting there with dresses and girls.
On the side of a canyon.
Would have been a photo shoot. Would have been a photo shoot at that point,
Would have been a
right?
good one. It would have been a good.
Would have been a good one. Yeah, except I was wearing white, and it might have cut. I don't know. Anyways, we won't go off that trail.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like we had 0 time. I had a kid graduating high school, going into college. Like what? So yeah, 7-hour move when you're literally moving. And Lindsay had so much going on. Yeah. It didn't make any sense, but we knew that we were called to do this. And absolutely knew without a shadow of a doubt.
Like when that happens, and like you're walking in something, like it just like the energy just comes and the time just shows up. Like this one, I can't for sure tell you how to make happen other than just like go with what God's telling you to do.
Well, but that's like, taking it back to like the purpose, Lindsay. Like I know we're here to help people walk in their God-given purposes. And so I think that was so much part of our journey is we knew that we were supposed to walk in our purpose. There was absolutely no rhyme or reason why it should have happened. Yeah. And we didn't have the time. We didn't really have the resources, except we kind of did, but we kind of didn't.
But it's weird because they just kept showing up. And I think that
they kept showing up.
They kept showing up. The time kept showing up. And crazy enough, so did the resources, and so did the clients, and so did the opportunities. And it's just been like, we're like only a few months. I say only a few months in, but like, so March 14th to like, we're recording this in June. We're July. We're in July. I don't even know. See,
we're in July.
This is why you should always trust your calendar and not your brain when it comes to like what day it is and where you should be right now. Like we're
July
in July
26th, 2025.
And things are just they just keep kind of coming. Like it's crazy. And so it's like one of those times. And that said, there has been tons of opposition. Like we were supposed to start recording this podcast like an hour ago, and we've had nothing but tech issues.
We were supposed to start recording this podcast like 3 weeks ago.
Right. Exactly. Right. And so that's what's so funny is like this has so much to do with what we want to talk about. Right. Is like, and it was crazy because so we as we were doing on the initial parts of our business, like things have happened and there's been opposition 100%. There's been stuff we've had to deal with clients. There's been hard conversations, like all the things, right? Because that's what happens when you run a business. It's what happens when you engage with people in any capacity, whether it's like a relationship, a friendship, whatever. And what's interesting is like, as we're sitting here, I'm sitting here thinking about like going backwards of like what the last few months have been. And like, we choose to focus on the other things. And like, that's part of the mindset, right? Because if you also wanted to write down all the hard things, man, there's a list. It has been hard. I mean, we have rolled up an entire team in this time frame.
You had salmonella.
Oh yeah, I got salmonella. Don't do that.
I got COVID. I got COVID.
Got COVID. 0 out of 10 recommend the salmonella though. That was like 20 days of symptoms. That was
horrible.
Awful. And now I'm losing my hair. So that's cool.
Yeah, like completely like I'm talking like opposition.
Yeah,
like, I mean, we can keep
really
going
rough.
into
And
it.
it's funny because my brain was just like, yeah, and we've been able to help all these people and it's been so great. And like, we're fixing to put some other stuff out to help some more. And like,
like you nearly died. You literally
it was really sick.
It was pretty bad.
I know it was really sick.
Yeah, and yet we kept on going.
Probably should have went to the doctor sooner. I kind of pushed the limits on that one a little bit.
Maybe. That's okay. You're here. Here we are.
We're good.
Yeah, we're here.
But I think that's like kind of part of it is like, and this is not like toxic positivity kind of thing. Like we don't, we're not like running past the things that were hard. But I think what's interesting is when you know it's something that is an infinite game. It's a big vision. It's a big thing. It makes it easier to like I guess, like recognize the things that are hard, work through them, and then continue on, take the lesson and keep moving. And so I think that's like the epitome of like what we've been able to accomplish in such a short period of time.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's really, really important to note too, just going back to like the whole reason we're launching this in this container.
Yeah.
We've had so many people come to us and ask about the completeness of the story and how it's come from. And we've been able to like kind of share bits and pieces of it. But Lindsay and I's story is so multifaceted. There's so many pieces of it. There's so many layers. And as we go through this podcast, we're gonna weave in bits of this story that we've even forgotten because sometimes we'll get on a call with a potential client and they'll be asking us something and I'll be like, Lindsay, we did this. Remember back in 2000? And she's like, oh my gosh. And I'll be texting her on the side. I'm like, we did do this. And she's like, oh, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, hello. And not what did we do it, but we absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
We had, and we'll go through these things. So as we go through this and we teach you, just know that there's going to be like a story woven into this. And the overarching theme of the story is obedience and God's grace and the provision and understanding like when you truly walk in God's purpose for your calling, you will be unstoppable. Because there's nothing you can't do when you're walking in God's will because what's the number one thing like when we pray, what is the one thing God always tells us he will give us exponential amounts of when we pray for it? Wisdom. He promises that in James, right? He says, I will give you all the wisdom, like pray for it and then be willing to receive it. Sometimes it comes in ways that are a little bit like work to receive it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Opposition is always a way to gain wisdom, right? But walk through it correctly. But that's the really cool thing about our story and how Lindsay and I have come together and built this. And so part of this is like, we're launching it. We want you to understand this, like where it's come from. Number two, like if you know you're supposed to be here with Lindsay, like if you feel that like instant like vibration, that instant connection to us, you just know you're right. You are supposed to be here with us in some capacity on this journey. We've got free containers, we've got paid containers. It doesn't matter. Like you can go live in our free container, which is our Facebook community. You can live in there and you will feel like we are blessing you with amazing things and you'll never have to pay for them because we are not based on the value of reciprocity, right?
No,
but we also do some amazing bad to the bone build outs like where we will blow your mind. And that's really the cool thing. Like as we were coming through this journey and things were coming along for us, like the doors started opening and the financial blessings started pouring in. And we were like, where is this money even coming from? I don't mean to sound...
No, it's been, and like, where are these like amazing, like we've had people that just like have, God has like brought to us that's been like,
yes,
where have you been all of our life also? But
yes,
also, like,
and the
this is such a
connections
blessing
and
that, like we get to help you and they've been like so aligned of like, yeah, no, we know exactly how to help with that thing. Like we know exactly, like here's 18 examples of when we've done that thing or when we
and not only did we do it, but we knocked it out of the park and we killed it. And here's the reports and here's the results from it. And yeah, we can do that for you. Yeah, and it's been so much. The people that God has absolutely brought into our life as customers and clients, and it's just been it's blowing our mind. Anyways, it's just been but it goes back to obedience, right, Linz?
For sure. Yeah, 100%.
And the
I would say
entangled
that's
journey.
That's really like why it's here. Because like logically, you wouldn't. I would have just been like, yeah, Krystal, that's great, but I don't have any capacity. Because
logically, that would have been the right
I'm
thing
just being
to say.
honest. Like, I mean, like I said,
If you were living in the world's economy,
yeah,
you would have said that.
I mean, like I said, I work a full-time job. We run a custom home building company.
Well, your full-time job isn't just a job. Like you're a pretty
I mean, like I
bad to the bone corporate
like
position,
I have a pretty mentally and charged
taxing
job, which is great, and I love it, and I love working there. They're amazing people. It's an amazing organization. But I mean, it's a capacity, right? And so like, there's only so much you can give. But it's interesting. So it's funny because I did the 75 hard a couple years ago. Would have been not last year, the year before. I started it right after Thanksgiving, and I did it all the way through the 75 days, whatever that is from then.
Wow.
What's crazy about it is like I also didn't have the time to like add 2 workouts in 45 minutes apiece and read and drinking water was easy for me, and following some sort of food plan wasn't hard. But the additional workout piece was a challenge. And we were also in the middle at that point of we weren't sure if we were moving. We didn't know what we were doing. Because since then I've also moved. I moved into a different house. So we live in a model home right now.
Lindsay has 6 bathrooms.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool model home. It's a model home, definitely. It's a model home.
We love to work over there. There's 6 bathrooms.
And someday when somebody wants to live here instead, we will be happy to give the model home to them. But in the meantime,
not give it to them, but
yeah, right. but like we get to
Fascinating.
live in a model home, which is cool. But I did that 75 hard, and what was crazy was like when you really like put your mind to something like that, like I'm just going to make the time. It's weird because the time just like showed up. And I feel like that's sort of what's happened with KL to an extent is like, you know, we launched KL, and like KL has a few different umbrellas. So like we have a team. So it's not, I mean, it's Krystal and I, and we have an incredible team. Like we have so many
Hmm.
people on our team that are very niche gifted in what they do. And they are just, I mean, it's so cool. And it's so cool that we get to like help allow them to like do what they're so good at and like get paid for it, which is really great. So that's always a win. But like, you know, we do some really back end build outs of like building your entire systems behind the scenes of your organization. So whether that's like automation and how your business actually functions, like when you get a lead, this is how it goes, it's how you process your clients, it's how you manage your folder structure, like we do that kind of stuff. And then we also do back end of like your entire marketing structure, so helping you set up all the funnels, all the communities, all the courses, all the things. We partnered with them a company that does this as far as like the actual software, and then we run the software the way that we want to with our framework in it. So we build those out, and that's been super fun. But we also have a whole coaching arm
Oh
within
yeah,
KL.
we decided to run a roll up a software company too,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah. So we're running an entire software. Yeah,
not
that's
just a
yeah.
coaching program, not just a
Yeah, so Simply
yeah
Optimized is
software.
our white label version of the software that we partnered with, and so it's an incredible software backed by a huge team. But then we get to do it our way, which is amazing because we like doing it our way. And so we have a whole tech team and everything that supports that, and it's like literally like having 18 different
Under the
softwares that
KL
work.
umbrella. Under the KL
Yeah,
umbrella.
yeah.
Yep.
And then we have our coaching arm, and so within our coaching arm, we have, so we have very few like super high, like 2-to-1 client options, but we have a couple. And then we have some masterminds that we offer, but which is one of my favorite things. But what we do offer to everyone all the time is our Team Builder Academy, and that's our
Hmm.
kind of tight knit community. And every month we're in there pouring into the group and really modifying what we feel like they need in order to get to the next step. So whether that's clickety clickety type steps or breaking through some untanglement mindset stuff, we have that community. And that's been really fun. I think when we rolled up, it was funny because that's actually one of the first things we knew we needed to do was Team Builder Academy.
Hmm.
And so it's grown and it's shrunk and it's grown and it's shrunk because it's been such a amazing place for just the right people at just the right time. And
Hmm.
we've really like released that to God of like, this is the place we want people to come. We want to meet them where they're at. We want to help them through where they're stuck. Like I said, it could be like really just in the tech, clickety clickety stuck on this thing, or it's like, man, I just can't get out of my own way kind of stuff, and like right and everything in between.
We did some deep forgiveness work this last week on
Yeah,
getting untangled spiritually and walking through complete forgiveness with yourself, with others, with God. Like it was amazing. Like we, and that's the thing about Lindsay and I, we're so multifaceted.
yeah.
Like
We
we're
don't have
not
a
going to just
niche. Like
pour, we
it's
don't
just
have a
not
niche. And that's
possible.
kind of hard because I'm like, you've got to have a niche and we don't
Yeah.
have a niche,
I
but our
think we're
niche is kind
starting
of
to
like,
almost like break that as like you need to be clear, but it's hard because like when you're multifaceted like this and like we are, like within each thing we sort of have a niche, but like we aren't a niche because we're a whole
well,
person.
our niche is helping people walk in their God-given gift. That's our niche.
Yeah.
Our
And then
niche
it
is
fits
just,
in all the places.
yeah. And that's really,
This
I
is
always
why
have
she's a
hard.
messaging person. That's yeah. That's why she
Well, I
does
just,
that part. She brings it back down. Yeah. So we have all that, and then we kind of do a little bit of everything else in between as it comes. I mean, I think that pretty well covers my what am I not thinking of, or what else do you want to share on the KL front?
mm, gosh, there's
I
so much here we're
know.
going to unpack and so much we're going to
Yeah.
share with you
Well,
guys.
I mean
But
the
really,
podcast.
really,
Oh, duh. Oh my gosh! You know what I forgot to talk about?
the free community.
Our simplified success community.
Uh-huh.
I
I
was
was fixing
like,
to say, what about that really cool free
yeah, what
community where
about
we
that
have all
really
that
cool
free
community that you
stuff
guys should all be in? So,
that we don't value reciprocity and we give away pretty much
yeah,
the
all the
dang
things.
house that
So,
everybody should be in. If you
yeah,
have a business in 2025 and you own it and you're doing anything brick and mortar, entrepreneur, solopreneur, coaches, network marketer, you
anything.
need to be in our simplified success community
Yeah,
because we do so much free value there.
yeah,
That place is literally designed if you can never buy an offer, because if you are supposed to buy something, you'll know. This isn't
yeah.
cringy pressure sales. Like we don't roll that way.
It's not
But if
how
you're
we
supposed to buy
roll.
something from us, you'll know. But if you get in that community, you're going to feel like we have given you the stinking house and the keys to the kingdom because we give you so much value in there and we walk you through so much just strategy on what to do and what to do to get things started. So if you're not in there, you need to be in there. And Lindsay, are we gonna like link that or
Yeah,
make that
it'll
like
be in the bio
yeah.
and all the things. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah,
that's
just,
actually under like reconstruction right now too. We're rebranding it and doing all the things, but there it's
yeah.
so
Depending on when you're
robust. There's
listening to
so
this, by the
much
time you get there, it may already look beautiful.
yeah,
But
maybe
right
beautiful.
now, like it's we're in the middle of revamping it quite a bit, to really
But
fit
there's still
blend
solid
it all
stuff in
together.
there even as the
Oh yeah,
revamp's going on. Like there's
the
still
library's insane.
solid.
The
Hmm.
library's insane. Yeah. So all the things. I you know what? It even so funny. What else we
What?
do? So in our TBA, we actually have this, and we do this for clients too. We
Oh,
have become really really good at AI.
yeah. The
Yeah,
bots.
yeah.
We have
So
a
like
bot. We have a family of
yeah,
bots.
we have a family of bots, and like we have really leveraged AI in a lot of ways, but like not in the gross icky kind of way where it's like sounds
No,
AI-ish.
we teach you how to use AI with integrity
Yeah.
and using it ethically
Yeah.
and
Honestly,
using
I
it
will say,
strategically.
so like I'm always an early adopter of tech anyways, so you take that with a grain of
Lindsay's a
salt when I'm
genius.
about
Like, I'm not saying that.
like
She's like one of the absolute smartest humans I know.
I like new things. So like I've been jacking with AI for the better part of over a year and a half, and man, I use it
Like,
a
she walks
lot.
into a room and
Yeah.
and people are like blown away by her. Anyways, sorry. I can go on about how smart you are.
No, you're good. There's lots of ways to use it. We talk a lot about that in TBA. We will be talking more about that there's actually a lot about that in Simplified Success community too, but we'll be talking more
Yeah.
about that
Mhm.
because AI doesn't have to be scary. It's not going away.
Well, it's not going away, so you might as well learn how
You
to
need to know how to
like
use
at
it,
least
and not in like
leverage
so like
it.
we have like taught ours like stop with all the emojis, like please chill out. But then also like
Okay, wait
making
a minute.
sure, yeah,
Can I just stop and say something?
yeah,
If you're using AI to write your social media posts and you're leaving all the emojis in there for the love of all things good, please take them out. Please
yeah.
take them out
Like
because
one,
everybody thinks
maybe two. Actually, so
no, not
part of
even
our
one and
team.
two.
So part of
No,
our
please
team.
make them stop. That's so early 2000s. It's like blue eyeshadow.
No, so here's
Make
it's
it
so funny.
stop.
So we had
Okay,
this
that's what I needed to say.
conversation.
Thank you.
We were having so we have all different
Our
kinds of
team
people on our
meeting.
team, and we've
Hmm.
intentionally have a couple people on our team building content out for our clients, and we've intentionally picked people that are in the younger generation to make sure that as we're doing stuff, we're capturing because like we know what our generation wants to see. We're pretty on the vibe of knowing what boomers and everyone above us, X's and boomers, want to see, but we have people on our team that are of the younger generations really to
Gen
help.
Zers.
Yeah,
They're
Gen
little Gen
Zers. We have a
Zers. We don't
number
have
of
any
them on
Gen,
our
well, we
team.
actually do have one little alpha, Gen Alpha, but
That's true. That's true. But we intentionally do that on purpose to make sure that our content.
we don't pay her though.
Yeah.
She just gives us her opinion.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's true. It's because you made her, but that's fine.
Correct.
So it was so funny because we were actually having this conversation on the call. We were going over the clients' campaigns and what's coming up and what's going on, and it was a crack up because when we were talking about the emojis, and this is like you heard it here first. They are not fans of the emojis. They think it's really cringy.
Especially when you're delivering it with content. Now, if you're having a personal conversation, like Lindsay and I use emojis in personal conversation because we think we're hilarious when we talk to each other. You know what I mean? But when you're posting it out there, like when you're publishing it, okay, personal use, fine. Here's your rule. Here's your rule. If it's personal, one to one, like literally one to one, not where you're making it try to feel one to one and you're mass messaging people and you're like, hi, with a little hand wave. Oh my gosh, take the hand off. That's cringy. Nobody wants to be waved to. You know, now if it's Lindsay and I'm like, oh, slap the forehead or something funny. One to one communication, you can use your emojis because it's actually what it's used for. One to many publishing anything on Instagram, any sort of social media, any sort of post. For the love of goodness, take them out. You look unintelligent and you look like you literally went to AI, wrote the post, and then copied and pasted it. You dehumanize yourself and you make yourself look unintelligent. Like, stop it. Please. Please.
I'm still
Please.
on the fence of at least of like one. I like emojis. I always have. And so like my content has always had at least one emoji in it. So then it was like so then there's the question, right? So like do you just conform or do you keep the one emoji? I don't know.
You talk to your content creator friend who's good at it and
Krystal
you
says
take the
no,
emojis
no,
out.
emojis are gone.
I'm gonna let you own the tech space and be like, no, Crystal, we don't do the clickety click there. And we're going to conform to my thought
Yeah.
process. Just like also on Facebook, hashtags are a little cringy.
Yeah.
They just are. I mean, do they work? Do they not work? I don't know, but they're cringy. Stop. We're gonna get so many like debates now on emojis and hashtags. I'm
No, actually, you
totally
know what?
setting
Like,
the.
I would be curious. So, like, when you're
I
listening
am
to this,
too.
like, you know how to
Yeah.
reach out. All of our stuff and things is in the bio, whatever, or in the show notes. You'll be able to
Mm-hmm.
get to us in all the places. And actually, because of the way our tech is structured, it all goes to one place. So, like, if you message us on Instagram or Facebook or you, whatever, you in our text, because you can join our
And
text
if you
thing.
need that, here's a shameless plug.
Yeah,
If
like
you
we,
need that done for
yeah.
you, we can do
We
it.
can do that for you, yeah. But like, so if
Right.
you opt to text us, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, we'll see it all in one place. But
Mm.
let us know on this whole emoji front, like what side are you on? Because like, I get it. Like, it doesn't need to be like a full. And if you have no idea what we're talking about, man, you should go leverage ChatGPT, tell it to write you a post, and you'll know exactly what we're talking
Oh
about.
my
'Cause
gosh.
it immediately puts in like 1,000 emojis.
Emojis you didn't even know existed.
Yeah, I've actually learned a lot more about emojis from using AI.
Right.
But it's honestly,
There's actually some
it's a
cringy
really great
emojis.
tool. It's a
Truth
really
be
great
told,
tool.
there are cringy emojis.
Yeah, it's a really great
Yeah.
tool. But yeah,
Yeah.
so we do that. We do build out customized bots for clients. So we have some GPTs we've built specifically. And like when I say customized bots, so like the analogy we kind of came up with to help understand is like you can just use ChatGPT without a trained bot, and it's kind of like a
Yeah.
puppy. Like it's super cute and it's pretty good most of the time, and then sometimes it pees on your carpet, and you're like, "Dang it, I thought we were past this." And that's sort of
No,
like
it's pretty feral like 50% of the time, and
yeah,
it
like so
kind
if
of
you're
runs
using an
rampant.
untrained bot or an untrained chat, like that's kind of how it is. Like it's decent, it's cute, but it definitely has its moments where you're
It's
like,
fun.
yeah, and you're
It's
like,
fun
this
to
is
cuddle, but then it keeps you up at night barking and howling because it's like
yeah,
sending you into dumb things, and it's like, this
yeah,
doesn't make
this is
any
what
sense, make it stop, and it like, woo,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So when you have a trained bot, it's more like having like a trained dog that comes when you call it. It sits down, it lays down, it's chill, it goes outside when you tell it to. You don't need a leash, whatever. Like
Doesn't
that.
chew up things, doesn't make messes in your house, does
Yeah,
exactly what it's told. It's actually like a trained
yeah,
dog that like gets your mail, gets your slippers,
yeah,
kind of even
exactly.
more.
Yeah. Yeah. So the one we have in TBA as part of being a member of TBA is specific to helping you build your marketing content. And so it works really well to get really clear on what your content should sound like for you specifically. It becomes very well trained for you to be able to write your
Interestingly
content.
enough, it helps you nail your, is it niche or niche? You said niche, I say niche. It's kind of a constant online debate.
No.
It really is niche, but I have a hard time saying niche because it sounds like itch. So
Oh, fair. I could get there. Yeah.
alliteration is really big for me. So I say niche, but then people are like, it's not niches to reaches, it's niche to rich. And I'm like, anyways, potato, potato. But it will help you
Direction of
narrow
where
down.
of what you do. I mean,
Yeah, to be fair,
clarity on what you
your
do.
client
Clarity.
clarity
Yeah,
statement.
there you go. Let's go with
Anyways, but
that.
that bot actually helps you nail your client clarity statement, because if you don't have your client clarity statement or your micro niche figured out in 2025, you're not going to be able to do business. And you're like, I sell health and wellness to the abundance of the population. No, you sell everything to everyone, you sell nothing to no one. You've got to nail that down. Okay, so even if you are in sales and you sell like a really broad spectrum of things, it still really helps to narrow down your micro niche, and it's going to ask you very impact questions. It's really cool, and then helps you build
hmm
viral potential content. We've actually had some people like get it and use it the first week, and they're following one up by like 600. It was pretty cool. Like we've had some massive results with this bot.
Yeah.
So
Well, and one thing I will say about this, because I've heard there's a lot of conflict around the idea of a niche, whatever. I like it better as a client clarity statement because then it's just more about being clear about what you're communicating, and I think that's the really
yeah,
important
not a
thing.
trendy word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're really not all about you becoming one thing because we're not one thing and you're not one thing. You're a whole human being. But
Hmm.
when it comes to being clear about your marketing content, when you're
And your strategy.
in your
Yep.
strategy, when you're selling a thing, even if you're selling, because like we have different client clarity statements for multiple different products that we have or services that we have. So I want to be really
Right.
clear on that, like because I think when that's part of why I don't like the word maybe because I think for a long time it was so pushed on like you have to be one thing and you have to fit in this box and everything you do is this box and you can only have one box and everything about
Mm.
that feels like a hard no for me because I think every box you have needs to be really clear, but that doesn't mean you can only have one. And I think you're made of that. Like my client clarity statement or my niche around who I am as a mother is one thing, and who I am as a wife in theory should be aligned. There's a value piece that comes through. And we're not planning on going into this right now, but this is what's happening. I think there's a value piece. Like I am somebody who is, makes my decisions through the God filter. Like that's a value piece, but that is more about who I am and how I make my decisions and what matters to me from that perspective. But I think you can have, my whole point being, I don't want anyone to think they have to fit in a small box, because I think that
No, absolutely not.
no, but when you're trying to
Absolutely not.
communicate something, like if we're talking about done for you systems, there is a box that is not for everyone. Like our
Right.
done for you systems, where we build out your whole back end, we build out your funnels, we build out your website, we build out your nurture sequences, we build the whole thing out in a really unified way. So when you're doing your front side content, it has somewhere to go, like all of that, that has a client clarity statement, because it's not for everyone. Right. And I think that's where you have to kind of think about it. And this tool actually helps a lot. This is not what we were talking about today, but this is fine.
No, this is great.
This tool helps a lot because you can use it over and over again in different chats. You can train it for different things. So like we have trained versions of it for one service or one product or one community, right? And then we have another one for a different community. Because why you would do our all-in mastermind is different. The client clarity statement for where a client is for that particular offer and that particular container is different than who would be ready for the Team Builder Academy. So I think that's the important designation, and why having a tool like this is helpful. Because when you're clear, it makes it a lot easier for you to communicate it. Like we can very
Correct.
easily explain, like if you happen to be on this call with us right this very second and you told us what was going on with you, we could very easily tell you, okay, well, based on that, this is where you live, because we know very clearly like what each one of these offers is for, what each container is for, and depending on where you're at, you fit in one or two. So, or potentially, you fit on nowhere, and we're like, oh,
Potentially.
maybe we
Right,
can build another
potentially.
container for you. Look at that.
Right, right,
So
right.
I think that's an important designation when it comes to the niche topic, is like, you need to be clear. You need to be, because the reality is like, it's too cluttered out there. Like if you're not clear, people won't see you. But you don't have to fit in a box. I'll be
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I completely agree. The only caveat to that is I would suggest is you do start with one path, and don't overwhelm yourself
Yeah.
trying to figure
Yeah.
but just know the path is fluid, and the path can go like this as it expands. But if, like to Lindsay's point, you don't need to fit in a box. So like once you nail down your client clarity statement, go with it, but don't be afraid to let it be fluid and flow and grow into what it could potentially do, because that's where that's part of our overarching theme, is helping people walk in their God-given greatness. We know that there's a lot of paths to that, but they all lead back to greatness. And the path to greatness is like this. But when you walk in the path of greatness, you literally leave the field of predictability, pass through possibility, and get to the potentiality. And that's where crazy things can happen. And that's what we've experienced our whole entire friendship together.
Yeah.
We've had so many God moments and so many miracles that we witnessed. So that's what we want to take our clients on, and ultimately those journeys. And that's where it starts with the free community. It pops off into TBA, into our paid community. We have it with our done for you systems. We do it in all manners and fashions, but we started with one and then it grew. And I think that's a really important thing to know, is kind of focus where you start, watch it, and then let it go.
And pray about it and figure out what feels like it's the right next step, even if
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. And okay, so this is like the welcome back, guys. We're
Yeah.
back. And as you
All
can
the
tell,
things.
and you will see, this podcast is going to be kind of a unique space. It's very much just going to be us riffing, having conversations. It's funny, like client clarity statements. Our client clarity on this one is like, have fun and engage with you guys, and just kind of, have this
Well, and
be,
welcome
like,
back.
a
Like,
raw space. Yeah. And so like,
yeah.
as we keep going, like you'll see, these are kind of how the conversations will go. Like we'll kind of have a topic, we'll kind of have an idea. Maybe sometimes it might just literally sound like you're having coffee with friends. We're just
Yeah.
sitting here riffing, talking about who knows what. This one was really business focused. It's not always going to be talking about the business, because quite honestly, we don't always talk about the business. So this is kind of going to be like, we want this to be a really fun place where we get to connect with you, but in like a very chill kind of way. So that's kind of the vibe.
Show up
And
as you are, like come as
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah. So we're super excited
A
to kick
safe
it off.
space.
Yeah. There will be more coming. Our set frequency and goal is to have stuff out on a pretty regular time frame. So you'll be seeing that coming. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And as long as you are subscribed like to our email text list, you'll also get notifications whenever we drop new podcasts. There probably will be a set frequency of when they come out. We'll figure all that out here in a bit, but there also may just be things that we decide to riff on and just throw random ones out. So it'll be really important to be subscribed because we may just get really inspired and feel like there's something that you guys need to know. And if you're not subscribed, you won't get the notification. So make sure you're on our text and our email list, which you can do through here. We have some free gifts when you join our email list. So make sure you do that because we like to give away free things. So make sure you're on there.
And we have really, really cool free
Yeah,
stuff
we
and
have lots
things.
of
Like
really fun stuff. Yeah, and we change
yeah.
them. We change them all the time. So that's why I'm like, I'll be a little ambiguous because they're different depending on what we're hearing from you guys and what we think you guys need and where you guys are at. So check that out. Otherwise, subscribe and stay tuned because there'll be a lot more of this coming. So I hope you guys have a super amazing day. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
If today's conversation helped you see your business more clearly, make sure you hit follow so that you don't miss an episode.
And if you're ready for more support, join us inside the free Simplified Success community. It's where we share resources, strategies, connections, and you really get to hang out with a lot of cool other growth-minded entrepreneurs.
Simplify your strategy, multiply your results, and make it happen. This is Simplified Success.